we have the same learning goal that we had yesterday. As we continue on in these notes, we're going to be able to evaluate expressions that contain 0 and or negative exponents. And note what does it say in the parentheses here? Without a calculator. So we don't want to use our calculator, we're going to use the properties that we know instead. So we've already learned those yesterday. Now what we're going to be given today are expressions that have variables in them. They're going to tell us what they want us to evaluate that expression given a certain value for the variable. Starting tomorrow is when we're going to have to start being able to simplify variable expressions without replacing what their value is. So we're just going to keep practicing right now, getting actual values for them, okay? So our first one that we're doing in this, check it out, we have p to the negative 3 power for p equals 4. So we're just going to substitute in our 4 for p. It's going to be our first move. We're going to need to show the substitution step. You've already done that, Calvin?
No, I usually just pay attention to that.
Okay. And then where do we go from there? What does 4 to the negative 3 power look like to get rid of, getting rid of the negative exponent? Abby? 1 over 4 to the positive 3 power. And hopefully eventually some of these, powers, since you're not going to use the calculator, you're going to be able to say, oh, I know what that is. By the way, I do have a little strip of, it's kind of could be like a cheat sheet, where you could fill in the powers like 2 to the second power, 2 to the third power, 2 to the fourth power, up through 2 to the whatever power, and then same thing with 3. I have one of those, it's like a little half sheet of paper, and you can fill it out with your calculator in your own time, and then you can kind of use it as a cheat sheet. What is 4 to the third power?
1 over 32.
Nope. 4 times 4 is?
8. 4 times 4 is 16.
16, and then we take 16 times 4
64.
again. 64, yeah. So this is really 1 over 64. And that's how we'll leave our answer, right? So again, we learned that negative powers do not make the number negative. That's not their role. That's not what they do. They do not ever make the number negative. What do they do to the number instead? What have we discovered? Yeah, they become positive in the denominator. But we started with 4 being taken to a power. We ended up with 1/64. What happened? It went from 4 down to 1/64. It got a whole lot smaller, didn't it? We learned it's going to make it smaller, but will it ever get to 0? No. Will it ever become negative?
No.
No. The negative power does not ever allow it to become negative, nor does it make it ever reach 0. Now, if it gets multiplied by a negative after that, that's a different story. But when we're taking a number to a negative power, it will not make that number negative. Okay, so now let's go do our 8a to the negative 2 power, b to the 0 power, and it says when a equals negative 2 and b equals 6. So 8 times negative 2 to the negative 2 power. Anything wrong with what I did there?
You need parentheses here for negative 2.
And the first negative 2 here needs parentheses, doesn't it? When it's the base, it has to have parentheses. Times b, which is a positive base. So now it's not a b, it's a 6 now. And it's to the 0 power. Okay, let's see what we can do as we move along here. So we have 8. Well, 8, does 8 need to be renamed, no. Simplified, anything? No? Okay, 8 times, what are we going to do with that negative 2?
Negative 2 in parentheses, or 1 over negative 2 in parentheses, positive 2, or 2 power positive 2.
Okay. So getting rid of the negative exponent, it becomes 1 over negative 2 to the positive 2 power now. And then what should we do with that? Times 1, because anything to the 0 power is 1. Okay. So kind of looks like we've got this one fraction here. So as we're moving across here, I'm thinking we might as well just make 8 into a fraction, right? What do we do to make 8 into a fraction?
8/1.
Put it over 1. What is -2 times itself? -2 times -2.
4.
Positive 4. And then when we multiply by 1, what happens?
It's the number.
It's the number. So can we just ditch that last factor really
Yes.
in reality? Yeah? Okay. So we end up with 8 times 1 is
8,
8, and 1 times 4 is
4,
4, and that can be renamed as
2.
2. Our final answer is 2. Okay, so that's what you're going to do today. You're going to substitute values in for variables and really kind of follow the same process you did yesterday, except here's the deal. Today, you get some other things going on with it. You might have to multiply by something, or, okay? So like here, we just had p, the base, being taken to a power. But here we had a product going on. We had to take 8 times the power times the power. So we have to follow all of the, little rules we know. Anybody have any questions on either of those two? Okay, let's go on to this last group. This will be the tricky part in your homework, I'm going to guess today. More than anything, this might be the part that'll challenge you. Find the missing value. So they're saying, basically what they're asking here is 5 to what power is 1 over 25? So here's what I'm going to suggest we do. We're going to like work backwards. We're going to instead of saying we're going to rewrite the number 25 as a power. So we could rewrite this as 1 over what power is equal to 25? Cody?
5 to the -2 power, or 5 to the +2 power.
Yeah. All I'm doing is renaming 1/25 right now. We're just renaming 1/25 as 1 over 5 squared. Well then, we need it not to be downstairs in the denominator, we need it to be upstairs and as a power. So what did we learn we can do yesterday?
Take it back to reciprocal.
Okay, it's one thing we could do, but we just want that power to move upstairs. So when it moves upstairs and moves down, it goes from negative to
Positive.
positive. Well, if it's downstairs and it's positive and it moves upstairs, what's going to happen?
Negative.
It's going to become negative, isn't it? So this is really the same as
5 to the -6.
5 to the -2 power. It's like we're working backwards. Now we're unsimplifying it, okay? So it was asking us to find what power 5 gets, what exponent would we put on that 5? What power of 5 is 1/25? And it is 5 to the -2 power. So this is really like what we were solving for. We were looking for that -2, weren't we? Okay, how about that next one? Question mark over 8 equals 2 to the -3 power. Well, I think it's what like look at what we did here. We worked with the piece that didn't have the question mark in it. We renamed that. So could we rename this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, what could we rename? 2 to the -3 power is the same as
1 over 2 to the 3rd.
1 over
Positive
2.
3rd.
Yeah, to the +3 power. Well, that becomes 1 over
-8.
No.
2
positive
times
8
2,
is 4 times
times
2
2.
is 8, so
just a
positive 8.
+8. So we found what the question mark, didn't we? What's the question mark in this one?
1.
1, yeah. We found the missing piece. Okay. What do you think we should do in that next one?
Work with the 2 times 3 to the
Yeah, work with this part because it doesn't have the question mark in it, right? Let's work with this part. So we have 2, what should we rename to?
No.
No, okay. And then we have 3 to the -2 power. How could that be
1 over 3
renamed?
to the positive 2 power.
Okay. And then that becomes 2 times 1 over
9.
9. We could make 2 into a fraction, right?
Yeah, 2 over 1,
Put it over 1.
cross multiply.
Oh, we don't cross multiply.
I mean, you go
Straight across you mean,
Yeah.
right? Okay, 2 times 1 is
2.
2.
Over 9.
1 times 9 is 9. Have we found our question mark?
Yep.
It is.
9.
2
Huh.
times.
Yeah, the 2 was already there. We were looking for the question mark, the 9, weren't we? Okay. That's it, folks.